Hello, my name is Mark Anthony. I'm here with Martin Tracey. Martin, I'm in Birmingham. I travelled all the way from London. Can you tell me why I'm here today and what the Fuzzbox is all about?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for driving all the way from London on this very rainy night in Birmingham. I know there's a lot of traffic getting in, but yeah, you're here at the book launch. You can see there's lots of good vibes going on. Everyone's enjoying themselves already before we've even started. What this is about, it's about the book launch of the authorised biography of Fuzzbox, who were a band from the 80s, an all-girl band, set a bit of a foundation really for the Spice Girls and people that came from that. The book looks at that, and the book is called, the authorised biography is called, We Had a Fuzzbox and We Used It. And they certainly did.
Yeah. Brilliant. So why are you involved though?
I'm involved really because I'm from Birmingham, same generation. So I've done some music. It's not my first rodeo. I've written music biographies before. And the girls wanted me to help bring home their story. And we got on like a house on fire straight away, you know. We're cut from the same cloth. The Brummie attitude, the Brummie spirit. And I was in bands around the same time as them. Strangely enough, we never rubbed shoulders at that time, which would have been fantastic if we did. But serendipity, it's brought us 40 years on for me to write their story, and I'm really privileged and honoured that I've been able to do it for them.
Brilliant stuff. A lot of people know about, the Blitz Club, Steve Strange, Rusty Egan, and what they brought to the 80s music and 70s music, okay? Tell us a little bit what has Birmingham brought to the music scene?
So Birmingham, there was the Rum Runner. That's where Duran Duran cut their teeth. It's where Ozzy Osbourne, before that, met his first wife. Wow. A lot of people don't know that. Yeah. So there is always been a very vibrant creative scene in Birmingham, especially with music. You go back to ELO, The Move, Denny Lane, who joined Paul McCartney in Wings. The history is there. Black Sabbath, of course. And then in the 80s, you had Duran Duran. And then you had Fuzzbox come that a little bit after, which really was pioneers of the girl band thing, So we do get overlooked a little bit in Birmingham. Probably our fault as well, because we don't shout about it enough. We're a bit self-deprecating in Birmingham. But yeah, there's a rich musical heritage, in my opinion, that rivals other cities. And it's about time we started telling people about it, and the book helps put Fuzzbox on the map again.
We all know, don't we, because you were girls at the time, you're women, and you played your own instruments and all that sort of stuff. You got pushback from the mostly male music press in particular. Do you want to talk about that? I mean, just have a few words about that and how, go on.
I'm going to tell you some of our favourite questions. Do you fight over boyfriends?
Do you? You still haven't answered
Maybe we didn't all like boys. And then, how do you decide what colour lipstick you all wear? It's a big decision, because I suppose we probably ended up having different colour lipsticks. Like, how do you decide? Yeah, it was quite hard to talk about the music. And yeah, we were really fun and colourful, we loved the image and so on as well, and messing about, but we did also really want to talk about music. We were huge music lovers, as Tina's already explained, so it was very, very frustrating to kind of get that forward. But it was quite nice, because sometimes people would come along thinking we were going to be a right load of bimbos, and we had quite a lot of journalists that did say, literally would say that, I thought you were going to be, right bimbos, airheads, whatever. But actually, you're really quite bright, and it really changed my mind. We even had a public apology, I think it was Melody Maker, wasn't it? Where they literally wanted to put that so that people knew that we weren't quite as stupid as we looked.
Fuzzbox performed on Top Box 8 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously that would have been an impact. People would have known about Fuzzbox.
Yeah.
That's a very impressive time for everybody and what they were doing. So how important is it for girl bands to know about this book?
I think it's really important because they came at a time when it was a much more male-dominated industry. They were signed on only the second gig. 3 of them were schoolgirls at the time. So they grew up actually in the music industry. So it's really important that girl bands now can look back and although it's a fantastic story and a journey in its own right, the Fuzzbox tale that's in the book, what it actually does is give a bit of a manual to girl bands coming out to see what the pitfalls were, to be able to see, okay, I understand that. Maybe I need to do that to get on in the business, etc., etc. So there's some good stories, but also some good experiences to help others.
The innocence was part of their attraction as well. That you know, the naivety. Obviously, they were schoolgirls. They actually grew up in the industry, so to speak. So the fact that they could, well, I'm not sure you have actually, but the growing up began. But it was part of their charm, you know, that they just didn't take themselves seriously, and that was Boston. Do you want to say something, Tina?
I'll say something. But also, so we were innocent, we were very naive, we were very, very young, but we were well protected by people around us. Patsy, God bless her, Rob Lloyd, and all those people who, you know, found us and brought us through, protected us from a lot of the shit. So we were able to just stay true to ourselves, really, and keep that kind of excitement and innocence of youth, I suppose. So it wasn't just that we were unaware. I think we were protected.
Okay, well, I understand that Fuzzbox were meant to be a very light-hearted, very fun group, right? Can you tell us a little anecdote about the band that will get people really excited about reading the autobiography?
I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one because there's lots of good anecdotes in the band. I mean, one of their big hits is Pink Sunshine, but we do go into the shadow a bit of Pink Sunshine, so the book is authentic, and it does go into the darker side of the industry as well, too, a little bit. I won't give too much away now, but some of the anecdotes from what they did, you know, they were on tour as schoolgirls, you know, they were on tour in Europe, so you can imagine the time of their life that they had, and the antics they got up to. They just took from what they were like in the classroom onto the road and into the recording studio. So it's hard to pinpoint one because there's so much fun throughout the book, and that's kind of the essence of what they were, fuzzy fun. But there is one really good story that I like. I'm a massive Beatles fan, and there is photographic evidence in the book where Fuzzbox met Paul McCartney. I mean, wow, if I could have only met Paul McCartney. Tina, the drummer, doesn't remember meeting Paul McCartney, so I have to show her the photo to say, yes, you did.
Brilliant. Well, Martin, Tracey, thank you so much.
Hello.
I'm a crashing your interview.
Oh, Des, yes. Des is crashing my interview.
So,
And
Martin,
someone else
Tracey,
is behind me.
Martin, Tracey, thank you so much. It's Mark Anthony Abel from clusterville.com. Happy to be here in Birmingham. I'm looking forward to watching the band live. Okay, and everyone, please go out there, buy the book. It's an exciting book, exciting band. Thank you so much, Martin.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Mark Anthony. Really appreciate it.
Brilliant.
Giving me all